Hi, everybody, and welcome to Sports for All podcast with me, your host, Eden Byrne. Today, we were going to be talking to Leah. So, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody, Leah?
Yeah, so I'm Leah. I'm 23. I'm originally from Stoke-on-Trent, currently living in Oakham, and I work as a netball coach in a school.
Amazing. Thank you, Leah. Great to have you. So, do you want to tell us a bit about your sporting journey and like how you got involved in sport and how it's going so far?
Yeah, so I started playing a lot of sports when I was in primary school, literally as many sports as possible, I'd do it. But then I settled on netball quite early on. I was probably like six, seven. Part of this is because I'm quite tall, so it's obviously quite handy in netball. But all the way through school, I played as many sports as possible, but netball was the only one that I played like at club and county outside of school. So that kind of carried me through secondary school into university. And then after university, when I moved on to Ipswich, I also joined a local regional club, played for them for a season, which was really good, met some amazing people.
Thank you. That's been quite a journey so far. So, who has been your biggest inspiration through your journey?
Oh, I had quite a few. So, when I was younger, the person I looked up to the most was Shani Layton. So she's an Australian netball player who was one of the best goalkeepers in the world for years. And then as she retired, she moved to play Aussie rules football. So then I kind of became a bit more obsessed with Shamira Sterling, who's a Jamaican netball player who also plays goalkeeper. Can you tell I'm a goalkeeper in netballs? But like day to day, the person who like kind of inspires me the most is my mom. She still plays netball. I've been able to play with her, against her, and I've also been able to like coach her and her team, which is just always kind of amazing because we always have that really good connection. And we always have something to talk about or we'll watch the netball together.
Oh, that's so lovely that you're able to do it with your mom. Moms are the best.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing.
So, what skills have you learned from being an athlete, and how have they kind of helped you with your professional career and also like personally?
Yeah, so obviously netball's a bit of a team sport. So like teamwork and problem solving is like so just yeah, part of it really. As like growing up, I've also been able to captain teams, so that's kind of that leadership role. And it also gave me quite a bit of confidence. I wouldn't say I'm the most confident person, but it's clearly given me enough to come and sit and talk to you about myself. So yeah, and that's allowed me to do like presentations and talks about sport, about netball in front of like large audiences, which like I'm still surprised that I've been able to do that myself. And a lot of that confidence has come from sport because I feel like I know what I'm talking about as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot of like transferable skills,
Yeah,
and yeah,
exactly.
help me as well. So, I know you do quite a lot of social action work. So, would you like to chat a bit about that and kind of how sports kind of maybe helped you with that as well?
Yeah, of course. My kind of social action stuff only really started within the last year. So originally it was just solely in netball. I kind of chaired a youth advisory group to a regional management board, kind of saying what young people in the area want to get out of netball. And kind of from there it spiraled. I became a I Will ambassador for 2024, and that kind of started my stuff outside of sport. From there, I kind of joined League Leaders and their Coaches Corner, as well as you, which is just a great charity made up of like young people that wants to make sport and physical activity more accessible. And then kind of joined My Life My Say as a squad leader and reach out to all in a few different positions. So a lot of stuff is kind of gone from like 0 to 100, but it's kind of just given me some amazing opportunities and I've been able to meet some amazing people like yourself and been able to connect over things that everyone's passionate about. It's just great. And like you say, all those skills have then come from that.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's so incredible, all the amazing work that you're doing. It's so hard to fit it all in, but you're doing an
Oh,
amazing job.
yeah.
So has there been any barriers for you, and what do you think maybe some barriers that young people might face to get into sport?
Yeah, so I would say for me, my biggest barrier at the minute is my time. As I was just like, I'm doing a lot of stuff. I work a job 6 days a week. I'm also doing my masters as well as all that social action stuff. So I'm a busy person, but it's definitely taught me a lot about myself and my kind of resilience to be able to kind of manage all of that. But like a lot of people, like I said, I'm not the most confident person going up and joining a netball club, say, scares the hell out of me. But That's what how a lot of young people feel about sport, especially if they've like moved to a new area. So like I think kind of that first step is always going to be the hardest when joining a new club or starting a new activity, joining a gym is always going to be that first thing. But I feel like it's one of those things, once you're in it, you're in it. And you meet these new people and you have an amazing time and kind of sport or physical activity kind of just brings you together.
Yeah, I was gonna lead on from that with the question about what advice would you give to young people wanting to get involved in sport?
Yeah, I would say do it. Just do it. If you can, drag a friend along. Because, sport, physical activity is just great. It's not just great for your physical health, it's just amazing for your mental health as well. Like, I can definitely vouch for that. Like, sport has always been allowed me to kind of step away from like my challenges. So it's kind of lets me step off the world for a couple of hours, have a little run around, be with my friends, have a bit of fun, and then go back and carry on with my life. It's just kind of separates stuff out for me. And so you say, meet new people, you just have a great time, and it teaches you a lot about yourself, about other people.
Yeah, it's definitely a great escapism, isn't it? It's like a
Yeah,
great way to kind of get out of that real world stuff.
yeah, definitely.
Well, leading on to my last question then, what have you got planned for 2025? Anything exciting?
Ooh, I'm quite quiet at the minute, I say. But to be fair, in the middle of April, I've just signed on to do a couple of weeks coaching in Europe. So I'm going to do a week coaching in the Netherlands, a week coaching in Spain, back to back, and then a little trip to Italy in the middle for, myself. But my favorite week of the year happens every year in July. Basically, it's called Edmund Rice Camp. It's a camp kind of for underprivileged children in the local area. We give them a free week of camp in their summer holidays, full of sports, art, trips, and a lot of paint. So it's like my seventh camp that I've done will be coming up. My third as a coordinator, and it's just like such an amazing time. These kids all come together from different schools in the area, don't know each other, and by the end, they're like amazing friends. They go then join high school together, so they already know people. Like honestly, it's just so like heartwarming and cute and fun, and yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love the sound of that camp. It sounds like such a great way to like connect people through sport and like,
Oh yeah,
oh, I love
absolutely.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
can't
I'm
wait to
the
hear
most
all about it.
creative person, but paint, I get paint stuck in my hair, in my eyebrows, all sorts. Honestly, I end up having to clean the shower afterwards because it's stained. Absolute nightmare.
It's like going paintballing, but not actually having to
Yeah,
go.
but just kids with painted hands coming up to you.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on my podcast, Leah. It's been great to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. It would be great if you could give it a follow and if you could give it a rating. If you want to connect with me further, you can find me on LinkedIn at Eden Byrne or on X at Eden71003.